You're watching Ride Like a Local with Belt Drive Betty. Ride Like a Local is brought to you in part by Community Futures, Grand Prairie and Region. I'm in Salmon Arm, being joined right now by Bijou and Sass from the BC Lone Wolves, and these two are pretty much the people behind this wonderful show and shine and motorcycle awareness event here at the Piccadilly Mall in Salmon Arm. Al, tell me a little bit about the BC Lone Wolves and how they came to be.
First of all, I started about 12 years ago with the Alberta Lone Wolves and moved in to Saskatchewan, started that site, and then decided to retire out in BC. Come out here probably 4 years ago and started this site, and it kind of just exploded. Like didn't think that it would happen this quickly and this fast, but yeah, it's a wonderful group in BC.
Sass, you do a lot of the organizing, coordinating, you help with the website, you're involved in all of the different fundraising activities. But outside of the fundraising, what is your favorite thing about being involved with the BC Lone Wolves?
The camaraderie, the friendships that I've created in the group, immeasurable. Yeah, it's a group of really good people, down to earth, and we all kind of have the same ideas, the same love of riding, and yeah, I would say that the people I've met in the group. Yeah.
Now, you guys do a lot of fundraising for organizations like the SPCA. How much money do you think you guys have actually donated to charity over the last 4 years?
Oh, probably
10 grand?
Probably
10 grand?
about $8,000 to $10,000 we've donated.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of hard work to put on an event like this. A lot of people think that, oh, geez, this is great, but you know, this takes weeks and months of planning to put on. So what for you is the most rewarding aspect of putting something like this on?
Yeah, it's pretty easy to see.
Days like today.
Days like today. Lots of people out, lot of people asking questions. Everybody's looking. Yeah, it's but it does. It takes a lot of work, organization. I'm sure we started on this 6 months ago.
Yeah, actually after the last one we kind of started thinking about the date and stuff like that.
And we always go probably a month in advance. So the next one we'll do is the Mother's Day poker run. That's for a cancer patient, and yeah, it's all for charity. It's all good stuff. Now, you yourself have been riding for how long, Al? Oh, I would think 30 years now. 30 years, yeah. And do you have a favorite road that you enjoy riding? You know, it's funny, when I first come out here, this was excellent, and I remember my son was saying when he came out here the first year, he said, if I died tomorrow, he said, I would be happy because of the roads in BC that we do travel. No, not a favorite road. They're all favorites. I've been here for 4 years now, and Eric, one of our members, took me out on a road that I've never been on before. So
yeah, there's so many.
There's so many.
Yeah, there's just arms and legs everywhere, off of every road, every main road. There's back roads, and most of them paved. Yeah.
Now, one final question. You asked me to come out to judge this show and shine. I have one question since I'm the only judge. Are you trying to have me killed?
Well, not yet.
The reason I asked that question is, how in the HE double hockey sticks am I supposed to choose my favorite bike out of so many beautiful bikes and disappoint everybody who doesn't win?
Choose mine, and I'll leave you alone.
Number 18 is the only bike in here.
She'll leave you alone. No.
Now you understand my conundrum, people. I am being inundated with people bribing me, wanting me to vote for their bike or choose their bike, and I'm kind of, oh yeah, now he's even cracking out the money. There you go. From the BC Lone Wolves, if people want to join your organization, want to come find out a little bit more about who you are and what you're about, how do they come and find you?
Yeah, come on down. We advertise most of these events. Come on down, talk to one of us. If not, www.bclonewolves.com will get you on the site.
Anything you'd like to add about the BC Lone Wolves from a lady rider's perspective?
Just watch out for us out there. We're going to be out there all summer long, and yeah, share the road with us.
Right now I'm being joined by Haley, an amazing amazingly talented young airbrush artist who does some of the most incredible photo surreal work you're ever going to see. Haley, how old are you? What's the name of your company, and how did you get into airbrushing?
My company is Haley Herrington. That's my name, so rock it if you got it. I'm 31, and I've been airbrushing for about 9 years now, more seriously for probably about 7. And yeah, I'm going to try and make a go out of it out here at Silver Creek and see where it goes from there.
Now, you started out doing a lot of artwork when you were younger. How did you come from doing more commercial art and learning that type of artwork and find yourself actually doing airbrush work?
Growing up, I used to read a lot of heavy metal magazines, and I really liked bikes since I was very young. My uncles all rode, my dad had bikes, and it was probably just a path that it was probably destiny. It was going to happen one day. I was going to end up with a bike, and then here we are, right? It's really important to me to make people's prized possessions just that much more special to them, right? And so I like to be able to work within their budget and what they want on their bike because it's their ride, right? And make it really special for them. So.
And do you find yourself in a position, like I talk to a lot of airbrush artists who want to put their own stamp on the motorcycle that they're painting. Do you find yourself ever at odds with your customer as to what they want and your artistic take on what it is they want?
Not so much. I've just found mostly they just have a lot of faith in my skills, and so if they come to me and they're like, oh, I like totally want these things, and it's like, well, yeah, I can make that happen for you, but here's some ideas that might improve that, and sometimes it's ideas that they would have never thought of to do before, right? I mean, if it's just what they want, I can do that too, you know. So I like to work with. I want to make people happy, right? Just make them happy with the work.
Now, I've been looking at some of your displays here, and I'm going to ask you a little bit about some of the incredible art that I'm seeing here. Frankenstein. Tell me a little bit about him and how you managed to make that so lifelike looking.
It's just a process of lots of like small line strokes and filling in darker colors. You start with, roughing in your. I started this one. This one's all completely freehand. I didn't transfer any pencil images or anything like that. It's just drawn on there. But I don't know. You start with your light colors and you work your way darker, and then as things start getting darker, you can bring in more of the lighter tones over the black, the darker in there, and give it kind of that. Sort of that misty sort of tonality. That's about, I'd say, well, that was done a few years ago. I'm a lot faster than I was. You get faster the more you keep doing it. So that's probably about 40, 50 hours into that one. But yeah, I really like to put a focus on fine detail and put that out there.
So if people wanted to find out, let's say they took a look at your work from this show today, and they wanted to get in touch with you, how would they find you to get you to do their art for them?
Well, they could find my business page on Facebook. It's Haley Herrington-Artist on Facebook, or they can shoot me an email at haleyharringtonart@gmail.com. It's Herrington, Herring, 2 N. And or just give me a shout. My number should be on the Facebook page there, and they can call my cell and get a hold of me there.
Wonderful. You are a very talented young lady, and I wish you nothing but success.
Thanks.
Growing communities one idea at a time is Community Futures Grand Prairie and Region, providing business planning, cash flows, market research, and business loans. Visit www.cfofgp.com to see how we can help you.
You bought your bike from the brand you trust the most. That's what Dalton Timmis is for your insurance options. As a specialized motorcycle insurance carrier, we can get you the best coverage, customized to fit you at the very best price. Call 1-888-385-8466 or visit daltontimmis.com now to get your free quote.
speaking with Steve Hammer from the Sycamore Summer Stomp, and we're getting ready for a wicked riding season out here in BC. Steve, tell us a little bit about what people can expect for the Sycamore Summer Stomp this year.
Okay. Well, first, welcome to Salmon Arm, and that's nice that you made the trip down to come and see us down here at Sunday Shoe Swap, which is rainy today, but anyway, that's bringing some people inside to look at some bikes. So come down. We've got amazing roads, and I say that we've got some of the best riding in North America in the Shoe Swap and surrounding area. We've got some day loops, we've got some hour loops, we've got some short 15, 20-minute loops that you can do, right, all from Sycamore. This poster pretty much says it all. We've got bikinis, beaches, motorcycles, houseboats, water, and the Summer Stomp is located right on the river where you can go cool off, which is about 5 minutes from the Sycamore downtown, which is the Shoe Swap Lake is right there, and Mare Lake about 15 minutes south of that. So we've got two beautiful lakes, crystal clear water, nice beaches, and great roads that you can just pull off the side and go for a swim, cool down. Have a cold beer, of course, they're always cold everywhere around the Shoe Swap, and carry on, ride your day away.
Not only are they going to be able to ride their day away, but their evenings are going to be filled with all kinds of great music, different kinds of entertainment and games and things to take part in. And all of the money you guys raise goes to charity. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, this is our 25th anniversary with 1 year off that we took back seat 1 year. And we've given away in excess of $20,000 was our best year. Total to date, we've given just under $200,000 away. Hospice is our big sponsor, our big charity of choice. We're continuing to sponsor them, and then we do some smaller ones, SPCAs or whatever is children's organizations in need, a park or a school, etc. And we just need people to come out and support the event, so we have money to give away.
Now, when the riders come out there this year, you've got some pretty big name bands announced. So let's talk about the music, because there's nothing bikers love better than rocking to some great tunes in the evening.
Right, and it all starts off Thursday evening. It's sort of the pre-party and warm-up. And yeah, for those country two-steppers, we'll have a little bit of rockabilly music going on Thursday. But Friday starts, and it's good old classic rock and roll, and it starts Friday. We shut down a little bit early Friday, running into Saturday, where our quiet time is around 2:45, 3 o'clock in the morning. But then Saturday night, music starts again on the stomp grounds, and we go till daybreak. And usually the people power out before the music does. We got Legs coming back, which is Rolling Stones wrote up as the best tribute band to ZZ Top in the market today. We've got AC/DC tribute, we've got Tom Petty and Women of Rock and Roll tribute, we got some Fleetwood Mac tribute bands coming out, and then just some cover bands. And of course, Kenny Shields and Streetheart is a big name that's playing Friday night for us.
That's excellent. I'm looking forward to coming out there, and there's houseboats, if just being at the gathering isn't for you, there's 100,000 things you can do out here. There's all kinds of wonderful antique shops and houseboats you can go out on for the day, and different things that you can experience here in the Shoe Swap. And we really want to see people riding around the Shoe Swap and taking in everything that can be done here, right?
Right, very true. And not only that, we do have a couple craft breweries, one in Revelstoke and one here in Salmon Arm. And then just south of us, down in the Kelowna-Osoyoos area, about an hour south, there's, I don't know, 14,000 wineries. Not that many, but there's hundreds of wineries that you can go check out. So there's lots to see and do. And of course, spend a few extra days and go out in a houseboat. You'll never regret doing that. So.
And the one other thing that there is here plentifully is the riding. So come on out. The Sycamore Summer Stomp, support some great charities, meet some great riders, and come experience the Shoe Swap like never before. Right now I'm being joined by Kelly, who is an amazing pinstriper, and it's an art form that is so different from what we saw young Haley doing with airbrush work. Tell us a little bit about the process of pinstriping. I mean, you have to have the precision of a surgeon.
You learn to fake it. The trick is to make whatever you're holding stay as still as your hands, not make your hands stay as still as what you're holding. And then everything else is practice.
Some of the pinstriping you've been doing, as with this box, is actually gold leaf. So tell us a little bit about that process, because that's quite a bit different from just your actual art form, right?
Yeah. With the gold leaf, you start with a size, which is a horsehide glue, or horse hoof glue, and you wait for that to tack, and then I apply 23 karat gold leaf, and then you can polish or burnish. This is all burnished, polish cooks, and this is on bare wood, so. And then all the outlining and highlighting.
Now, I've been looking through your portfolio, and you've done like some absolutely incredible work. Where do you get your inspiration to have lines create such interesting visuals?
It's all over the place. Sometimes you see something start to form and it just happens and you run with it, and other times it's pre-planned, and I find more often than not it's when something just happens on its own that's when it's the best.
And your favorite vehicle to have your work displayed on would be what?
Oh.
When I say vehicle, I'm talking about, the metal, wood, plastics, cars, trucks, motorcycles.
Primer. Mostly primer, flat black, that's like my favorite. Matte gray, also really fun. You can do a lot with that.
And why is that?
I love the light play of gloss on flat, and it's an open book. You can do anything when you see a flat black canvas.
What would you say is your most challenging job to date?
Oh, I've had a few really challenging ones. Boat restoration, that's the hardest, because they get in there with like magnifying glasses, and that's outrageous. It's hard.
Boat restoration?
Yeah, old Chris Crafts and Riva, 40s to 50s mahogany boats with all the gold leaf and gilding. It needs to be perfect. Perfect.
That would be definitely absolutely challenging, because that old wood absorbs everything so much, and I can't imagine what a challenge that would be for an artist to be able to make something like that look as perfect as possible.
Yeah. I've had people with magnifying glasses looking for pinholes in the gold and had to come back and do a pinhole restoration on the gold.
Ouch. If a person wanted to have Kelly do some pinstriping for them, how would they get a hold of you, Kelly?
Easiest way is through email or through Facebook, or you can simply just give me a call at Kelly's Kustoms, 375-2060.
And that would be area code 250?
250, yeah.
Okay. And you also have a website that they can see some of your work?
Yes, I do. kellyscustoms.ca.
Thank you for taking some time with me, Kelly.
Thank you very much.
The Sports Camera Store in West Edmonton Mall is your one-stop shop for drift and GoPro action cameras. We carry Canada's largest selection of action cam accessories, along with video sunglasses, hidden and surveillance cameras, and more. Visit www.sportscamerastore.com or stop into our West Edmonton Mall location, lower level by the bay.
Community Futures Grand Prairie and Region. Business development assistance, business planning, cash flows, market research, business loans up to $150,000.
Community Futures, growing communities one idea at a time.
I'm being joined right now by Ken Henczel, and we're going to discuss this rather, shall we say, interesting bike that's before us right now. Ken, tell me a little bit, first of all, about the bike itself. It's what, about a 49cc?
Yes, it's a 49cc. It's basically a Honda. They're sold in the U.S. under the Pagsta label, and I found it actually at a garage sale in Armstrong, and then it just went wild from there.
Okay, and wild would be a really good acronym for what's happened with this bike. Tell me how you came to have Ahmed with a Gatling gun and NOS bottles and his own bathroom with TP, and like you can't, once around this bike, you're not going to see everything that's on it. So let's talk a little bit about the inspiration behind Ahmed the Dead Terrorist being on your motorcycle.
Well, what happened, we put the BSA front end on it before the sidecar, and it was like riding a unicycle. It wanted to fall over. It was too radical. So a buddy of mine said, well, let's try a sidecar for, you know, more stability. And I had a Coleman cooler, my fishing cooler, and it just went from there. We put a wheel on it, and it drives like a Cadillac now. And it just evolved over the winter. I took it in my shop, and we just kept throwing stuff at it. It's got more Harley parts on it than it has anything else, and it just evolved. And I found Ahmed at a yard sale, put the skull on him, and then everything else just went wild. It took on a life of its own.
Life of its own would be a really good description for this machine. So let's start with the sidecar. Mm-hmm. I mean, you've got tools on there. You've got all kinds. Tell me all the little touches that are on this bike.
Well, I've been a carpenter now for 45 years, and I thought it'd be nice to have a little bit. That's where the saw blades are on there and all that stuff. So that was part of that. And then the Gladiator stuff on here, and kids just love this bike. They love to have their pictures taken on it and sit on it, and they try and reach up the handlebars, and it kind of went with the theme of that. And the cowboy boots, the NOS bottle, all this apparatus on here will be working next year. The flamethrower, the Gatling gun, we're going to have smoke and fire out of this, and he'll have eyes that work, and it'll take a while, but it'll be completely functional.
What kind of a bent mind does it take to create something this crazy? Like, I mean, really, where did you come up with this idea? There's more to this story than you're telling me.
You know, it's basically, I've been told I'm a child at heart. I'm 64 years old, and I haven't grown up, and I don't plan on it.
You hear that, folks? 64, says he's a child at heart, and he's never growing up. That's a great way to live your life, because it means you're living it to the max.
True enough, yes. And I have a 2-year-old grandson that'll be getting on this theme, and he'll probably end up driving this when he's a little older.
Now, do you actually take this out on the highway? Or?
Yeah, I don't do the highway thing. It's called an LSM. It's a low-speed motorcycle, and they're limited to 50K, and streets only. It's not legal for the highway.
So you take it in parades and different things like that, or just ride it around town?
Yes, I go for coffee on Sunday mornings with this, and this is my ride down here.
Well, for a guy who's 64, you look pretty darn good. And I guess a lot of that just comes from having a great sense of humor and a great imagination.
Yeah, you hit that right on the head, and that's what keeps me going, and I plan on doing this for a lot more. I have 5 other bikes at home, and they're all going to evolve. I'll have another one up here next year.
I'm going to have to come back if the Lone Wolves will have me and see what crazy stuff you've come up with next.
Well, they may not have me next year, so we'll tag team that, and we'll do it with a new bike.
Sounds awesome. Thank you for taking some time with me.
Thank you very much.
I'm being joined right now by T-Bone from the BC Lone Wolves, and you're here singing out your heart for the Family Resources Center. Tell me what that means to you and why you're doing this.
Well, I know that family is so important, and the Lone Wolves have been so much to me. I want to give back to the community, and the Lone Wolves want to help me with that.
That's wonderful. And who's your cohort on the keyboard?
This is Kieran Rambo, and he's one of the best keyboard players I've ever heard. We're really glad to have him with us. And this is Gary Shugran. He's our lead guitar player.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Al Bijou, and I, with myself and Donalee, put this motorcycle show together. We're going to do the draws now for the People's Choice Awards. Belt Drive Betty, Renee Charbonneau is here from Grand Prairie, who did the judging and the counting and all this other good stuff. So if you would.
Thanks to Al and Donalee for inviting me down here. It's been an awesome time. I'm quite impressed with the turnout of bikes that were here. So we're going to start out with the People's Choice, the one everybody voted on. And could I please have bike number 1, Trinity? Could you please come up to the front? I need bike number 13, Midnight. You need to come up here. And then I need Wade, bike number 6. Could the 3 of you just come right and stand right here in front of me? Come on out, get out there. So we have Wade, Trinity, and Al. And in 3rd place is Wade. And in 2nd place is Al. And in 1st place is Trinity. Congratulations. Awesome job on that Morris Minor trike of yours, girl. That looks awesome. Now for Judge's Choice. You guys made this really, really tough on me because there are 28 motorcycles here, a wide variety of motorcycles. And when I'm judging a show and shine, I'm looking for the personality of the rider to be a part of that machine. So I would like the owners of bike number 26, bike number 1, and Ahmed to come up front, please. I kill you is right. Bike number 26, it's the motorcycle with the sidecar, the blue Harley with the sidecar. Is he here? No? Okay. Well, in 3rd place is Trinity, and that's just an honorary award, but I wanted to bring you up here because that is a beautiful trike. Okay? I'm sure it was. And in 2nd place, unfortunately, he's not here, is the motorcycle with the sidecar. So he'll get one of our t-shirts. And for originality and a bike that truly reflects the bent personality of the man that owns it and built it, would be you, Ken. So thank you very much.